Berkan.
I'm Matthew Nickel, and we're here to do an interview with a family physician here about the environment and air pollution and its problems. So, first of all, I'm going to ask you, how does air pollution affect people who have health problems such as asthma, lung cancer, etc.?
Of course, that's very, very important to know about the air pollution. And if you follow the radio, like during the summer months when it's hot, hazy, they always say, please, people with asthma and heart disease, please stay home. Because all those particles that are up in the air, they affect our health, the healthy and the sick people. And if you have asthma, all those particles can affect adversely your health. Yeah, your breathing becomes worse, the heart doesn't function properly, you get heart failure, let's say, breathing failure, you end up in the hospital. That's why we advise sick people to stay at home during those days. And then in cold weather, even cold weather, like cardiac patients, we always advise them it's better to stay home because if they come out, they can have angina, that kind of things. Of course, it's very, very important to have good air quality. And unfortunately, in these big cities that we live in, the air quality is not the best. And, well, I can tell you a few reasons. All the factories that emit all those gases in the air, number one. Then our cars. All the cars, they have the carbon monoxide. That they emit carbon monoxide that adversely affects our health. All right? What's next?
The next question is, so what can you tell us about air pollution in general, generally?
Well, to tell you the truth, for some reason, I'm very impressed by our government because they are doing their best to improve the air quality, and I'm absolutely sure the government has committees that look after the air quality of our cities, especially big cities like Toronto or other big cities like Montreal and whatnot, where there are lots of industries, a lot of traffic, which adversely affect the air quality. What else?
Does air pollution necessarily prevent people from doing what they want to do? And if so, how?
Well, that is, I think, that's a little bit, how can I put that one? Definitely, people who are sick will have difficulty performing their daily activities. Now, sick people, do they go to work? Are these people working or not working? What kind of people you are asking about?
Well, it's just a general knowledge of just people generally, like if somebody just even wants to go out somewhere, does air pollution prevent people from doing that with, smog in the air? People are sick or something.
Okay, if we think like that, take California, where the smog is unbelievable. People go to their everyday life because our body is quite strong, like God created us stronger. But, of course, it hurts us to work in an environment like that. Or if you go to Niagara on the lake and look across the lake, sometimes on a clear day you see a smoke over Toronto, which is not good at all. Well, we are all they are working, the car industry now, they are working on hybrids and this and that. Why are they doing that? To eliminate those dangerous gases, that carbon monoxide and the likes, to eliminate those gases, to clear the air. And I remember when I was at your age, in our like geography lessons, we were learning geography. Sorry, my English is not the best, but
That's
it's
okay.
okay.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah. Like they were talking about cities in Scandinavia where the pollution is the least, and this is in early 60s, I'm talking about 1960s, that they have eliminated most of the pollution because of the electricity that they are using electricity. And by using electricity, they eliminated most of the pollution. Now, something else. Take London, England. Apparently, a few generations ago, if you went to London, England, and took a picture of the Parliament Hill, you would think that it's a black and white picture, although it's a colored picture. Because of the smoke that they had, and because of the coal, they were using coal for heating, and the coal, what does it do? Carbon dioxide and all the carbon that is in the air settles on the stones and it all turns black. And they cleaned all that. Then they found like the oil in the North Sea, and coal now it's forbidden in parts of England, and the colors of the buildings are coming back. See? It's very, very interesting. It affects everything, like pollution, let's say. But do you want to ask me about what are the pollution, like
what pollutants are in the air?
what pollutants are?
Well, we were going to ask personally what you would recommend and what you
solve.
Me recommend?
Yeah.
All right, number one. Stop cigarettes. If you are smoking, stop cigarettes.
Yeah.
Don't smoke cigarettes. A cigarette is not good at all because there are so many carcinogens in that. And then I want to tell you something about carbon monoxide. Carbon monoxide, you know, during our breathing, what happens? The oxygen binds with the hemoglobin of our blood. Carbon monoxide can bind with our hemoglobin of our blood 20 times faster than the oxygen. And what you are creating? Hypoxia. Like a blood poor in oxygen. And if your blood is poor in oxygen, what happens to your blood? There you are. Cigarette smoking. And then, what about all those thousands and thousands of carcinogens that there is in that smoke? Well, I don't want to depress you by telling you that years later, people who smoke, 80% of people with cancer, they have been smokers. Yes, 20% those newborns, they have cancer too. That's very, very sad. But most often are the smokers that get that disease. They will say, oh, my grandpa used up to 90 and he smoked cigar and this and that. How many grandpas do we know that lived over 90 and smoked cigars? Yeah, Churchill, they talk about Winston Churchill. But Winston Churchill is one. How many patients do we have that live over 90? No. Okay, go ahead.
Have you ever had to treat any patients with any problems that come from or relate to the environmental issues?
Well, that I wish I knew that you were going to ask such a question and I could look into my patient. Well, who knows, maybe I do have like cigarette smokers with heart attacks. Sure, of course, yes. Yes.
Okay, another question, is there a safe way to smoke without damaging the environment?
Repeat the question, please.
So I said, like, is there a safe way to smoke without damaging the environment? Damaging the environment without smoking, causing damage to people in the environment when you're smoking.
To my knowledge, no. There's no such way.